2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport here on YouTube. It's myself here, Joe Stanley, again in a hot seat for this big discussion on what's the hottest news in football at the moment, arguably. Will Mohamed Salah sign a new contract and stay at Liverpool Football Club? I'm joined by fellow Red Stuart Davies and Luke Tanner, and I can hear the boos as well ringing from Merseyside households as we're joined by Manchester United fan for a neutral suspected on this, Jamie Davies. So let's listen for the boos. Yeah, I can hear him. Can you hear him, guys?
Boo, you rot!
So yeah, we're going to be discussing live here now about Mohamed Salah's contract situation. Reports dictate that Mohamed Salah is after a 4-year deal and 400k a week. Whether that's true, we're not sure because obviously we're not privy to that information. But we're going to go off the basis that that is a fact and discuss this discussion. So, lads, welcome to Let's Talk Sport. Welcome, Stu, Luke, and Jamie. I'm going to start off with you, Stu. Mohamed Salah. He's a big player. Everyone here loves him. Maybe not Jamie, but let's not go there. Everybody loves him. Do you think...
I'm coming from Egypt. What are you talking about?
Do you think he should sign a new contract at Liverpool, or Liverpool should give him the money, to rephrase it?
For me, I do absolutely love Mo Salah, and I would love him to sign a new contract. But for me, if the rumours are true about the 400,000, whatever it was, I'd be completely against it. Just because Liverpool got a wage, any business, you've got to keep to a financial structure. We've got a wage structure. What was Van Dijk on? 180,000?
220 grand.
220 grand. So 2019, second for Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Van Dijk, yeah.
Yeah, so I just think 400,000, I just don't think it's fair that Salah should get paid more, almost double more Van Dijk, Fabinho, Trent, Robertson. At the end of the day, if you remember West Brom, when all the players got together, that was all about unity. You got the Champions League final, they're all there in a line, singing together. That's unity. Salah getting 400,000 a week, everyone else has got half or less. That is not unity, and it's not on at all for me. So, if it's true he wants 400,000 a week, I would say no Salah.
No Salah, not Mo Salah. I like that one. Luke, you're completely opposite to Stu from what I can gather from our discussions in the WhatsApp group this week. Talk us for your opinions on why Liverpool should shatter their wage structure and bring in... give Mo the new deal. Talk us through that.
Right. Firstly, I have to sort this out. I believe he doesn't want 400 grand a week. I believe he wants to be paid similarly to what the other top players in the league are earning. So I believe, I don't think it's the 400 grand that has been reported. I think it's around the 300 to 350 range, because that, if you look at the Premier League top earners, that's where the top earners are earning. I think Jack Grealish is on 300, Sterling's on 300. I think David De Gea's on 375, Aubameyang 375. So I believe that he wants to be paid relatively to what the top earners are being earned. And I think he also wants the contract length. He wants the security of a 4-year deal. It would not have surprised me if Liverpool have offered him a 3-year deal under 300 grand a week, and he's gone, no, I want more and a 4-year deal. So that's what I think. And or what Stu said with upsetting the apple cart about with the wages. I think the way that Liverpool have sorted out their contract renewals was smart. Because if you think about it, if Salah's contract was signed first in the summer and he got 400 grand a week, and now you're looking to renew Van Dijk, Fabinho, Trent, Robertson, and they're going into the contract table, they're going to be looking, you see Salah's new deal that he's just signed? Yeah, we're looking for parity, the same as that. But instead, the club have done it the opposite way around, is that they're pretty much tied down every single player, barring Mane and Firmino. Now they can give Salah the contract a much higher contract. So I believe the club's doing it smart. However, they are taking their time because I believe that there is a sweet spot where if the numbers are hit, he signs the deal like that. So it's going to be a tight one, but I do believe that is absolutely worth tying him down because if you think about it, how much is it going to cost to replace someone of his quality and his wages, the whole package? Probably more than what it's going to be to give him a 3-5 week contract for 4 years. So I know FSG are smart businessmen, but if you look at it from a business sense, it's probably smarter to keep him on that 4-year deal rather than forking out on a highly rated forward, in my opinion.
So Luke says that he thinks it's best for Liverpool to keep Salah on financially and obviously economically and in terms of the playing position as well. Let's bring the neutral into this. Jamie, what's your thoughts on this?
So you look at Lewandowski, Mbappe, Ronaldo, Messi. I have to agree with Luke, which is, if you actually think about it, I had a shower thinking this morning about this. I always think in the shower, I love it. I don't have a shower beer, though. I've never tried that. But apparently it's quite good. The way I see it is Mo Salah and his agent has sat down with him and he's gone, you are fantastic football. You're probably the best in the Premier League right now. I'd say you're one of the top 5 attacking players in the world right now. Ballon d'Or-esque, you name it. And he scores in every big game. He always scores for Liverpool. You don't get players like that every generation. You just don't. They're very hard to come by. And what I reckon's happened is, I think the agent, let's not forget, the agent have an influence on this. The agent sometimes suggests the number and the player is probably either agreeing to it or they have to agree to it because the agent deals with the business side of it for them. They're the ones that negotiate on the table with the owners of the club. So what I reckon's happened is, look at it like inflation. Things go up, wages go up. Other players around him who are just as good as him and better than him maybe, are earning a bit more money than he is. This is just a new contract refresh to go, look at what I've done for you in the last 4 years, 5 years since I've been at the club. I deserve a pay raise. Of course he does. He does deserve that. I know a lot of people can say if he just stuck with the wages he's on now, he'll be fine. Of course he would. But this is work. This is the industry. This is the way it is. You know, people's wages go up. It's just the way it is in football. And yes, the money is ridiculous, but that's just the way it is. Football is very different to us. You know, we earn normal wages. They earn ridiculous amount of money, but in a way they kind of deserve it because that's how it works in football. But if you look at the other salaries, Lewandowski, for example, according to wageindicator.co.uk, he earns 313,500 a week. This is the guy that's just won the best, FIFA the best trophy as the player of 2021, and we can all agree he should have won the Ballon d'Or. But the way I see it, I mean, how he wants 400 grand a week. Is that what Mo Salah's reported to want?
Reported to want, yeah.
Yeah.
And how much is it he's on now?
He is on, let me just check my notes, he is on 200 grand a week, same as Thiago Alcantara. The club's top earner is Van Dijk on 220 grand.
I mean, that's a problem, isn't it? The fact that Van Dijk is your top earner is ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, Van Dijk is a great player, but Mo Salah's the man. He's the poster boy. He's what the kids want to grow up and be. He's everything. He's the big influencer. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this is a problem. I think if I was Liverpool, just pay it. I don't know where you're going to go wrong. The guy has been consistent from day one. He's asking for 200 grand more. Yes, I understand that the structure of Liverpool isn't like that. But I think for a play that's deserved that, I don't see why not. To be honest, if it was me, I'd say give him 350, not 400. But if he's asking for 400, then just pay it, maybe.
I don't think the 400 is what is the number. I think it's less than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
I think it's the longevity of the contract. He wants more rather than the money.
And this is let's be honest, he's 29.
Yeah.
He's gonna be 30 in June. So the guy's, he's getting to the point now where this is the end. As in, like, if he does a 4 or 5 year contract, this is him until he retires, possibly. And he has already said on Sky Sports he wants to stay. So we all know he wants to stay. That's not the problem. It's just the wage. So I would say, if it was me, I would offer him 350 or 400, whatever. Just pay the man. I'll say this now. Mane's going to go. I think he's off, and I think Firmino might go.
I think I've seen something on Twitter that Liverpool don't want to scare him with with the contract situation. Apparently, Firmino is going to decide whether or not he's going to stay or go in the summer.
I think at the end of the day, I think Liverpool's structure is very good in terms of the wage. But when I looked at the list before, you've got 1 or 2 players there that you're paying a lot more than you would normally because they were free transfers, James Milner and Thiago, for example. But if you actually look at it, I think it's worth to just pay that guy a bit more and let go 1 or 2 players. Jota has been great. I think he could easily start a game, no problem. Mane, he doesn't look interested to me. I might be completely wrong there, but I feel like he's up for a new challenge. Firmino, I think, is great. I think he probably will stay, but I honestly think Liverpool can win without him. And this rumours of Nkunku coming in, sign him. I think he'll be a big game changer for Liverpool going forward. But yeah, as I've said, I won't keep saying it, but Mo Salah's, he's got to stay. They've got to pay it, I think.
I've got a few comments to read out. Dudu says, hello, I think Salah will absolutely stay. If Salah has to leave, he will, and Liverpool's attack will go, and then he's put a bunch of stars and a laughing emoji.
Yeah, 2-1 against Arsenal.
And then we've got Kirsty Stanton says, hi. Joe, it's not me. I'm not written the comment. It's a different Joe. Has Klopp considered converting Matip into an inverted winger? Not quite the topic, but I think you could play him defensive mid in a crisis, but I wouldn't put him as a winger.
You could play Eiling as a winger. I know he doesn't play for Liverpool, but he loves pushing the ball forward.
That's a good option. Begoin says, how's your holiday, Jamie? Cairo is nice this time of year.
I'll be honest with you, Begoin. It's quite cold where I am, so I might ask money back from Thomas Cook, but sadly they've gone bust. So I think I'm stuck here for the meantime.
Like my opinion on the situation, I hope you don't mind me jumping in. Is
I don't.
You don't deserve an opinion
because I thought this out. I'm taking my emotion out of the situation because I've been stung a lot down the years. Because obviously we had the Torres situation where he walked for 50 million to Chelsea and was a flop, thankfully. Then you had Suarez,
massive flop.
Did well at Barcelona. He got a bumper new deal. 6 months later, he's gone off to Barcelona after taking a bite out of an Italian. Then he had Stevie G that left that I never thought would leave, but obviously his contract come to an end, and Liverpool let him go to America. But I'm looking
that was
at this,
the right move.
I'm looking at this logically, and as a Liverpool fan, do I want Mo Salah to stay at Liverpool Football Club? Of course I do. Do I think he'll stay at Liverpool Football Club? I'm not too sure, because I've seen it all before down the years. I think if he's after the 400k, we can't pay that because you break your wage structure. It's the balloon effect. Your balloon keeps going higher and higher and higher, and eventually it'll burst. I think in football, we need to put a salary cap in. It's not going to be liked, but we need to put a salary cap in because these wages get ridiculous.
It's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen, but it should be put in. Ronaldo's on 500k a week. Messi's on 800k a week. Plus, when you take his bonuses and other payments into account, 1.5 million. Absolutely ridiculous. But you're looking at that, you've got the 400k a week. If he signs 400k a week, then you've got the other players like Van Dijk, who's on 220, that might say, because he's not signed a new contract. He signed a new contract a couple of years ago. He might say...
No, he signed one in the summer.
Yeah, but his contract's not that long. The point is, he'll want another one.
2024.
Yeah, but it's not that long. 2024, it's 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
He'll want another contract. Luke, let me finish. He wants another contract. He'll want parity. He'll want the 400k. Then Alisson will want the 400k. Then Mane will want the 400k. I think I agree with Jamie. He'd be off, but say he stays. Because he sees himself on the level playing field as Salah. He does. That's the fact.
Okay, I get that, but you're dreaming.
He sees himself on the level playing field as Salah, but he will want the 400k. Other players will want their wages to go up to within the range of Mohamed Salah, and that means the wage bill goes up and up and up. And as a club, as someone, obviously, I'm not really supposed to discuss it because breaking contract and all that lot. But let's screw it. club's finances won't be able to cope with that, especially post-COVID. We barely made profit last year with empty stadiums and stuff. So you're looking at it logically. Hypothetically speaking, say it is 400k. I'd say to Mo Salah, you've got till July time to sign a contract, whatever terms that may be. If he doesn't agree a contract, the Liverpool Football Club should look at possibility of selling him. Now, that's not going to go down well, and I can see people probably bombard me in the comments. But you think about it, yes, whoever you get to replace Mo Salah is not going to be as good as Mohamed Salah. But we had the same situation with Torres. Yes, okay, Andy Carroll was rubbish, but Suarez stepped and filled the void, was an even better forward. Then we sold him for a bigger fee. Yeah, he was £22.8 million. And then we sold him for 75 million, massive profit. We signed Coutinho for £8 million, sold him for 146 to Barcelona, went out and bought Van Dijk and Alisson. 2 problem positions sorted for the price of 1 player. My logic, because we weren't going to buy Alisson unless we sold Coutinho.
We were going to buy Van Dijk if we weren't caught up for Tap and he would have come in that summer instead of paying an extra.
But the fact that we had to pay the extra £25 million meant that we had to sell Coutinho because we didn't have the budget. Now, you sell Mohamed Salah between 100 150 million pound, right? You might say, whoa. I know you said the other day, Luke. You said, but why would someone come in and sign him for 100 million plus when he's got 12 months left on his contract? It's Mohamed Salah. He's one of the best players in the world. People are going to pay that money. It's nothing to PSG. It's nothing to Real Madrid. They're going to come in. They're going to offer him whatever he wants.
Real Madrid won't be going near Salah this summer because they've got their eyes locked on Mbappe and Haaland. They're not going to be looking at Salah.
You don't know. You don't know, Luke.
Difficult to get.
You don't know. And the thing is, I'm speaking like obviously hypothetically, but the point is, say you sold Mohamed Salah for 150 million. It's whole hypothetical. I'm not saying it will happen, but if you sold him for 150 million pound, you could go out and buy your Nkunku as a Mane, replacement, an heir to Mane's throne should Mane stay, or if he goes, you got your replacement there. You could go and buy Rafinha. I know he's got in talks with Leeds, but say he hasn't agreed a contract with Leeds, chuck 60 million at Leeds, you got Rafinha, or 50 million at Bowen at West Ham. You got your right wing sorted there, you got your left wing sorted. You could have a look and put a little bit of money towards Jude Bellingham from Dortmund. He'll probably cost 80-90 million, but we will have a budget, and then the Mohamed Salah money will go on top of that. Yeah, that's 3 positions sorted for the price of 1 player. Yes, they're not all the best at that level yet, but Jurgen Klopp is a manager that develops players. Liverpool Football Club is a club that makes stars. We don't buy them, and that's the point. We've survived from Gerrard leaving. We've survived from Torres leaving. We've survived from Suarez leaving. In the 70s and 80s, we survived from the likes of Rushy leaving, brought in Aldo, Rushy come back. We had Dalglish retired, we brought in Beardsley, and we had him up top. Liverpool Football Club, there's one thing that remains. One player is not bigger than the football club. Players come and go, but the club still remains, and that's my point there. Whether he stays or goes, Liverpool Football Club, I have full faith in the manager Jurgen Klopp and the board that they'll make the right decision regarding this, whether Salah signs or not, and that Liverpool Football Club will be fine.
I'll say this now. You mentioned Andy Carroll and Suarez and all that who came in. Whenever a big Liverpool player left, they didn't win trophies for a good few years and didn't challenge without their key player. I don't think Liverpool will be challenging without Mo Salah. I have to say, you're not winning trophies this season at the moment. Let's be honest. Premier League's done, I think. League Cup, you might go out of that. You might get to the final. Who knows? FA Cup, let's be honest, Klopp's not interested. And the Champions League, it's anyone's, actually. I think it's very open this year with Man City, PSG, Bayern, and Ajax as well. I'm not saying Liverpool can't win it. I think they definitely can. My concern for Klopp, he's a great manager, and I actually do feel like he reminds me of Fergie a little bit, where he gets the best out of his players no matter who they are. Even names you'd take the mick out of, but they would still be their best players. But what I'm saying is that my fear for Liverpool is they might have to take a step back in terms of challenging, because they'll bring in replacements for Salah who, quite frankly, are not going to do it week in, week out. For example, Bowen from West Ham, I like him at the moment, but how can we be sure that he is this player that everyone's talking about? Because he's only just come and turned up this season. Doesn't mean he's going to do it if he joins another club just because of his quick, good patches he's got at West Ham. Nkunku at the same time is coming from a different country. Great player, but can he do it in England? Look at what happened with Timo Werner. Look at what happened with Timo Werner from Leipzig.
Sancho, Havertz, they've all struggled.
The thing is, Liverpool Football Club has one of the best recruiting networks in the country. So that's why I have full faith. We replaced Coutinho,
especially Robertson and all that.
Yeah, I think whatever happens regarding Liverpool, I just use Bowen as an example because he's been linked. Do I think we'll sign him? Probably not. But he's just been linked. So
million.
So
wait.
So like, I just chucked him in there as an example. Yeah, you get the point I was making. I was like, you can replace him. They won't be at the same level as Mo Salah. But that's how the economic world of football works. We sold Coutinho.
Is Mo Salah like the Ronaldo at Man United first time round though, where sadly he goes, and you still win without him, but just not because. Funny enough, the first season after we lost Ronaldo, we lost the Prem, but we won the League Cup.
Yeah.
So we kind of downgraded, and look what happened with Rooney. He wasn't happy with the situation really at United, thinking they won't challenge again. But after a while, it took him 2 seasons, and then he finally got what he needed to win trophies. But in all fairness, other teams around us were building at the time as well.
That's the thing. There's always going to be that drop off when a player whose quality leaves. But if you think about it as well, these players aren't going to be around forever. So it's going to happen at some point. He's going to leave the football club at some point. So people just need to realise that he's not going to be around forever, and the club have got to prepare for when that situation happens, whether that be this summer at the age of 29, nearly 30, or whether he signs that contract and that's at the age of 33, 34. It will happen anyway. Jamie Burgoyne says something in the comments about this. He says, long-term Salah isn't an option. 400k a week plus 2 years would be better spent on a younger prospect, on like 200k per week on 4 years. Basic business model. Greg Slivingston says, what the hell is Jamie's background? Joe said Joe says you'd never have thought Mane, Salah and Firmino would be one of the best front threes in the league when they signed. Klopp is one of the best at turning these players into the world beaters. You have to trust his ability to do that.
Yeah, I think I'll throw this at Salah.
Go on.
He hasn't exactly been great at other teams before Liverpool. So if he left Liverpool, could he be? I'm not saying he'd be shit, but could he be really the player that we saw him at Liverpool?
I think something else. I think something else we've got to add is, as good as Salah is, like he is one of the best players in the world. With Klopp's structure, he's getting pressed. It's for about all 11 players. How important is Salah to Liverpool? Like, is he as important as Fabinho? No, he's not as important as Fabinho. You can look at the stats and they'll prove
Fabinho is quality.
Far better with Fabinho. And then you've got Trent and Robertson. Trent's the best right. Well, I think opinionally, he's like one of the best right backs in the world. For Liverpool, he's the best player you can play in that position. Andy Robertson is the best player who can do that left back job for Liverpool. They're just as important to their system as Mo Salah. Like Mo Salah's he's important for us, but is he as important as all of them? Like I don't think he is. I think they're just as important.
I'll say this now about
the Arsenal game. We look toothless.
I'll say this now about Liverpool. I think I told this to Stu once as well, which the one thing I've learned with Liverpool, with Mane, Salah and Firmino, with Klopp as manager, is if one of them has a bad game, the other one gets the goal. So it is a team. It is a team.
Yeah, but recently...
But look at Man City. They're a team. There's no individual at Man City.
Yeah.
Even though Grealish has gone there, he's not the leading man at all. He's been good now and again, but then there's been times when Gundogan's been their best player, then Bernardo Silva, then De Bruyne, and it keeps changing. But that's what is a team. If someone has a bad day, the other one can pick him up and help him. That's why Man City and Liverpool, in my eyes, are a great team. You look at Chelsea, where quite frankly, I'm still trying to figure out how they won that Champions League, to be honest with you. I don't think they're that good. I thought they might win the Prem this season, but after watching them now, I don't rate them. I just think they're full of individuals who have been paid too much and can't do it. And I think Tuchel's a fraud. That's my opinion.
Another video for that.
Well, it's just, Klopp and Pep have proven that whatever player they bring in, they're still brilliant. It's just... It's very good recruitment from both teams. I can speak like this because as a United fan, every player we buy with a lot of money has been an absolute bombshell and an absolute fraud. It's just been a waste of money, you know. And you look at United back on the weekend, our 2 youth players were our best players, Elanga and Greenwood. So
Yeah.
says it all. Says it all. You don't have to go out and buy so many players for so much money. Klopp's done that at Liverpool. He bought Salah in for not much at all, and he wasn't proven. And look what happened. Firmino, no one even heard of Firmino till he signed.
Yeah.
And Mane was signed from Southampton, which, again, wasn't a big player. But look what he's done.
Under Bobby Firmino was signed under different management. He was signed under Brendan Rodgers. And less said about Brendan Rodgers is the better, because it wasn't a Brendan Rodgers signing, it was a board signing, the transfer committee they had.
United.
But the thing with Bobby Firmino is that Jurgen Klopp had the mindset and the foresight to see the fact that he had the ability to play as a false 9, because he was brought in as an attacking midfielder, his number 10 position, and he didn't really work. Rodgers tried to put him on a wing, it didn't work. He tried to put him as a false, not false 9, sorry, he tried to put him as a 10, it didn't work. But when Klopp came in, he tried it, different things, and when he seen Bobby Firmino's work rate, his energy, his passion, his drive, the fight for that Liverpool shirt, he saw something in that, and I absolutely love Bobby Firmino. He's a great personality, and like I said, everything like Klopp's just said about the dry passion and stuff. He had the ability to try him as a false 9, and it's just something just clicked. And then when that worked, he built the pieces around him. So he had his system. He had the 4-3-3. He brought in Mane. That worked. Next season, he brought in Salah, and then after that, he sorted out the defensive mid as well. He brought in Fabinho, because obviously he sorted.
System's definitely changed this season, though.
But
I think at the beginning of the season, the system changed with having Elliott as that advanced 8 on the right-hand side, the Salah, Trent, and Elliott. I think that's the way he wanted to go.
Yeah.
This season, obviously, Elliott got that injury against Leeds, which I thought that Leeds side was, the team against Leeds was our strongest team. Thiago, Fabinho, and Elliott in that midfield. Controversially as it sounds, that was the most balanced that team has played all season. But back to the Salah thing, and back to Klopp. Klopp's going in 2 years, and unless he's signing a new deal, Joe, I don't would not you've heard anything.
No,
but he's pretty much gone in 2024.
Oh yeah, Klopp's going in 2024.
Yeah, sorry, and unless he's got a miraculous change of heart, he's off in 2024. Are you sure he's going to be ready to rebuild? Are you sure that he'll want to rebuild another team to go for the title again, or do you think he wants to win before he goes? Because if he leaves with one league, one Champions League, people are going to be asking questions. Did he win enough?
I'm not sure what you mean by that, Luke, because you just said, will he build? And then
Klopp's job now...
Will he have the energy to rebuild?
Yes, it's Jurgen Klopp.
The energy, do you think? Or do you think he'll just want to...
I think people need to realise with Klopp, he'll build even for the next manager.
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Legacy. It's the one problem Fergie had when he left United was he left it with a really shit squad, actually.
Oh, Fergie left at the perfect time.
He really left at the perfect time, didn't he? Because that team was, I mean, in all fairness, they won the league. Whatever people said about that squad, they beat everyone else. It still worked, but that was probably because of Sir Alex Ferguson. And I think Klopp's another thing. Look, Klopp's first season at Liverpool could have been the 2 trophies. Let's not forget that. And that wasn't even his squad. So that to me says it all of how influential he is in the changing room and what his tactics bring to the field. Wherever Klopp goes, it's always been a good team. He nearly won a Champions League with Dortmund. He nearly won 2 Champions Leagues with Liverpool. He won 1 though. But look, I'm not a Liverpool fan. But if Klopp left in 2 years, he can still say, I won the European Cup and I brought home their very first Premier League. He deserves a pub named after him or something like that. Simple as that.
I just want him to win a little bit more silverware before he leaves.
The thing is, with Jurgen Klopp as well, to answer your question on, is he going to have the hunger and desire? Is he going to build for the next manager? That's his job at the moment. That's what he's doing at the moment. He's coming to Liverpool. He's looked at the setup at the training ground. He's gone to the board. He said, I want a new training ground. I want the academy and the first team to be together in the same place. So what did they do? They went and built the AXA complex up at Kirby, where the academy was. Revolutionised the club in that aspect. Very modern, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
He
selling his best player.
He brought Mona Nema in to do the nutritional side. He brought what's his name, Cormier in to do the fitness. He revolutionised the club. He's created a goalkeeping school now at Liverpool by bringing in Tarafal, I think his name is, the Brazilian coach, to come in with and to help Achterberg out there. So he's creating a goalkeeping school, so that position sorted for the next manager to come in. He's organising little areas. He's very clever, Jurgen Klopp. Little areas within inside the club, and he's sorting that out and putting the building blocks in place for the next manager, whoever that be, whether that be Steven Gerrard, Julian Nagelsmann, whoever. I'm just picking names out of the air now. Everyone says Steven Gerrard, but I don't know. It all depends on how he does.
Don't say Nagelsmann. Don't. I love him too
but
much.
whoever gets the next Liverpool, because the next Liverpool manager, it's all set out in place. Liverpool had a great thing with the boot room in the 70s and 80s, where we went from Shankly to Paisley to Fagan, and then we had Dalglish coming, and then obviously it ended up screwing up with Souness, but less I said about that idiot, the better. And we had this great system. I think we could see the next part of that with Liverpool, a modern version, obviously not like with always within, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Pep Linda's name mentioned for the job in a couple of years' time, or Stevie G, someone like that, someone with Liverpool blood in them, come in and replace Jurgen Klopp. It's all about being set up. And you said, would he want to do the rebuild while standing as best player? He did it a couple of years ago with Coutinho. It's not hard. He's done it before.
Was Coutinho the best player back then?
Yes, he was. He was the best player. He was the thing that connected everything together at the time. And when we sold him for £146 million, we mugged Barcelona off.
Oh,
but
you really did.
We
really did.
The right
You really did. On top of the fact that they bought Dembele as well for like 110 million. I can't believe that.
I knew the Barca
I couldn't believe
was
that.
brought up in our group chat about, look what Barca did. Like, they bankrupted themselves. Yeah, that's because Barcelona are so poorly run. That was going to happen when you throw money around left, right, centre, spending 100 million on him. 100 million on him. It was bound to happen, but Liverpool don't operate like that.
I agree to an extent. Like, I agree. When Coutinho left at that price, it's like, it was a massive transfer. And don't get me wrong, he wasn't
the best player in the league. No, he wasn't one of the world's best players when he was nowhere.
He was nowhere near the world's best. I'm sorry, but Coutinho was a man who played well, but he was just a wonder goal specialist to me. He reminded me of Nani. One moment he's quality, then the next he's crap.
Yikes.
I mean, everyone goes on about Coutinho scored against United the other day. I mean, okay, yes, but he scored a tap-in. So let's not get too carried away. But what I would say is that Salah is so much more better. He's 10 times better. The guy scores nearly week in, week out. Coutinho was nothing like that.
Joe in the comments has made a very good point about the throwing coach as well. And Gronenberg being brought in. Another little attention to detail from Klopp. Anyway, I feel like obviously we've been on for 34 minutes now, so we're probably rambling on a little bit.
I've got a shout out to Callum who couldn't make it from Copper. She had a theory on his channel on Monday about what might happen. I'm going to paraphrase his theory. He thinks the contract's going to get signed in the summer after we've shifted wages off the wage bill, such as James Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby Keita, Divock Origi, for example, and then give the wages that Milner and Ox is on, and just give them to Salah's contract. Don't you say that name.
Actually, don't get rid of Origi. You're not winning any European Cups without Origi, so that's not.
Origi, the guy that was meant to carry the attack through AFCON, is going to be out till after the Cardiff game. Your one job to stay fit during AFCON, you couldn't manage that.
This isn't about Divock Origi. Let's leave the cult hero alone on this one for once.
I'd be happy to talk about Origi all night long.
It's better than Solskjaer.
But anyway, that's our thoughts on Mo Salah, whether he will stay or whether he will go. Thanks to Luke for joining us. Thanks to Stu. Enjoy the Emirates tomorrow, mate. And thanks to Jamie for joining us as well and sharing his insight from a neutral perspective. Thanks to everyone for watching tonight. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well,